Welcome back to the SNES library. I'm the curator. Last time on Famicom Tantei Club. I forgot the name of the game. We built up our own little alliance here with the former detective club members and me. This is the old school building. Guess I must be early. Nobody's here yet. Hey, Duty. Hey, Ayumi. Where's Hitomi? I don't know. We have different classes. I haven't seen him yet today. Okay, so anything new? I haven't found anything new since the last time we spoke. Neither have I. Strange. Hitomi should have been here by now. School's let out a couple minutes ago. This place is changing. I just get a bad feeling whenever I'm around here. That's all. Oh, we can go somewhere. Hitomi's nowhere in sight. Yeah, well, this place does seem a bit unsettling, now that I think about it. Yeah, it's almost like there's a dead body behind that wall. I mean, that's something that we have no clues about. I just assumed that very early on, based on other stories I know. Everything I ever thought about what could possibly be happening in this game is based around that idea. Because I'm just 99% sure that it has to be that. It has to be. I'm just so convinced. This is the front of the high school. It sure is. I'm not gonna tell you anything new, he's just standing here now. He's not here either. Well, where is he? Oh, there's someone there. Two students are nearby, quietly whispering to each other about something. Can I talk to them? Have we seen him? I wonder what they're talking about. Ryuji tries to listen in on the students' conversation. Whoa, are you serious? No way! What do they say? They're whispering so softly. Their voices are too soft. I can't hear a word they're saying. Speak to them! God, they could have seen him. He just kind of stands out, you know? Well? What? The tale of the girl in the back has spread like crazy the last few days. I bet it's what they're talking about. People can't seem to stop talking about it lately. Did they say anything different? Dude, I keep getting those chilly feelings more and more. And yesterday, one student claimed that she could hear girls sobbing cries in an empty classroom. Something is here at the school. Something that's got everybody scared stiff. I have a bad feeling about this, so thanks, Obi-Wan. Anything else? I have a bad feeling about that too, damn. Hey, maybe the reason Hitomi's late is because he discovered something. It's a possibility, I guess. At any rate, we're lucky to have him on our team. He means well. If I find Hitomi, I'll have him wait for you by the old building, okay? It might be a good idea to see what you can find out about the new girl in back rumors from the teachers. From the teachers? What did he? I don't know. I don't have a go-to command. Sounds like a good idea. I could have sworn I saw Mr. Hibino flinch when I brought up the Kaneda murder. I really need to have another talk with him. Alright, Ayumi. See you in a bit. Wait, Before you go, Ryuji, I'm going to go meet up with Mr. Komada for a little while. But afterwards, I'd love it if you could walk me back to the office. Sure. Sure. I guess that's how he said it. For some reason, all of a sudden. Alright, see you later. Dude? Head outside of your own ass, please. Let's go back to this wonderful room up here. This is the staff room. You know, that person isn't here right now. Because why would any of the staff ever be in the staff room? Hey. Guys, what is it? Is Hibino here? For a while there I thought he was getting better. But lately it looks as though he's slipped back into malaise. That's a word. He seemed to take a turn for the worse right after speaking with you the other day. Isn't that like French? For like illness? He should be here anytime now. Anytime now, yeah, I mean I've been in this room long enough to know that anytime now means I'm gonna be here all day. Catch the killer yet? No. Just in case, he said time, I'm gonna check the clock. Clock has been fixed. Cool. So can I tell the time? No, you can't. Okay. The students have certainly been talking their little heads off lately. Those darn ghost stories are all they ever talk about anymore. It's quite unsettling. Overhear anything? You don't really expect an average Joe like me to believe in all that ghost talk, do ya? It's not real. He's been in and out quite a bit recently. There's a man who's been showing up at the school recently. He seems to know the principal somehow. I know who you're talking about. It's possible he's an alumnus. He seemed rather vulgar. I saw him only briefly the other day, but I didn't get a very good feeling about him. He's been going home early lately. It's very unusual for him. This Hitomi is a detective friend of yours, correct? I don't believe I've ever had that student in any of my classes. I'm afraid I don't know that student. Yeah, it's okay. Just passing the time here. I don't know. I know you don't know anything about anything. I don't know what to tell you. Is Hayama here? No? Good over here? No? Think about it. The way Mr. Hibino was acting the other day, it seemed as though he knew something about the Kaneda murder. Hibino! Excuse me, can you tell me that Hibino has arrived just now? Let's just check around a bit. It's staff room. Is he in? God! Why does it always happen in this room? This is the worst room in the game. This is a local ghost story. Every school has one. Yeah. I guess. I'm terribly sorry, but I can't help you there. You ask me about it every time you see me. I can tell. It must be something of great importance. Yes, it seems to be tied into a lot of recent events. I see. I'm confident you'll find the connection, detective. You sure shook Mr. Hibino up the other day. What did you ask him? Ah, I see. Official detective business, huh? Oh, I got something new. What could be keeping Mr. Hibino? Don't ask me. He usually drops by around this time of day. I actually have a commitment presently. I'd go now, but I can't leave the staff room unattended. Feel free to wait here as long as you like, though. Well, isn't that a coincidence? Good day, Mr. Hibino. Duty. Ah, you're happy to see me, I see. Well, I'll be on my way now. Take care, detective. Now he can't leave, though. He can't leave the staff room unattended. Because his master, Urabe, would not like that, would he? Come to any conclusions yet, detective? No. But I think I'm beginning to understand how big of a connection there may be between these two murders. Nothing? The principal is a magnificent person. You said the exact same thing last time. Are you really that trained, lapdog? Do you know anything about a man who's been coming to see the principal lately? This person is neither a teacher nor a student. No words. I don't believe Hitomi was in class today. That's weird. I kept thinking, like yesterday, that he seems like the kind of guy who would, like, end up dead at some point, but that would be way too fast. Could he simply not know anything? It's always a possibility. Then just tell me. Look me in the eye and tell me you don't know anything. Why do you keep talking about the principal? As if he was some sort of criminal. But dude. Pardon me. Anything else? Mr. Hibino, if you know anything about the Kaneda incident, I'd appreciate it if you'd tell me. Well, actually there is something I know about it. But I'd rather not talk about it. It brings up such awful memories. I don't think I could bear to mention it. Well, that sucks for you. I have a case to solve here. Someone died. Anything else? Oh. Can we talk about something else, please? Well, he didn't want to talk about anything else! Humbug! By the way, detective, I bumped into Ayumi while I was out. You should feel honored. You have such upstanding friends. She asked me to tell you that she'd gotten a hold of Hitomi, and that he's waiting for you out by the abandoned school building. Okay. That brings our total amounts of conversations we've had with Hibino to still 0, I would say. God, he's so unhelpful. Hey, Mambo Jumbo, how you been? Nice work, Hitomi. Hey, have you discovered anything? Maybe. You know, have you found anyone with a man? A chap you were talking about before, What's with the way he talks all the time? Better not even to go down that road. The word on the street is that he started showing up around here the day after the Yoko thing happened. Whoa. This song he has. I've got a feeling it's got something to do with the killer. Yeah, me too. See, I know what I'm talking about. I'm more than just one of those law and order wannabes. I mean, I trust my gut. Always have, always will. And it tells me this guy's trouble. Ah, okay. I swear on Yoko's grave that I, Hitomi Kawai, will avenge thee. Yoko, why did you have to die? I gotta have a smoke. Don't. Hey, check me out. I'm cool. No. No. Hey, what are you doing? You talk so much about doing the right thing and all, but look at you. Smoking's against the law, you know? You know that. I mean, for underage people, yeah, but even if you were, just fuck you, don't. What would Yoko say if she knew he was smoking? At least Ayumi hasn't seen you. But don't you know girls that hate being around smoke? I think anyone does. I don't think I've ever met anyone who was like, people are smoking around me. What a pleasant smell in the air. Well, now I broke him, I think. Oh crap. Seems like I got through them. I just can't stand smokers. Well, he doesn't talk to me anymore though. Wow, I broke him completely. It's the old school building. Never check the trash can. We have to throw it in the trash. Come on, that's got nothing to do with the case. Okay, the quit command doesn't invalid. I'm kind of stuck now. I broke him. Oh, try. What's got to do with the case? Yeah, that's what he said before, but fucking fuck. Why is it here then? Okay, now I'm stuck here because I think you want me to throw the cigarette in the trash, but I can't. I cannot do such things. Yeah, you accomplished a lot of things here. Now we're stuck. That's the one with the Tusky Blast 50 years ago. It sure is. I broke this man. I actually broke everything. I can't do anything anymore. Oops. Please don't be vengeful, Hitomi. Please don't be vengeful, Hitomi. Okay. Looking at him doesn't do anything. You have to look at a variable and make that variable him. That's so different. Okay, I'm through. I'm through with smoking. Okay, can we talk again? I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I'm sorry. Look, I'm throwing him away. Come on, you dummy. Can't you do anything right? Ah! Oh man. It's not like I was trying to make him cry or anything. Inside the trash can, Ryuji finds the cigarettes he told me threw away. Okay. There's no reason to take that. But I could, I guess. What is the purpose of that, though? That has to mean something for later. It's starting to get late. Time passes quickly. In the school, huh? Head to the art room. Amy's still waiting for me. You know, we sometimes get these choices and they're really weird. This is the art room. He's wearing a different jacket. I mean, I like that the characters also like changing their clothes every few days here. Ah, Ryuji, long time no see. Good evening, Mr. Komada. Has Amy stopped by in? No, I haven't seen her. Mr. Komada, do you know anything about a man Principal Urabe has been meeting with? Why do you always suddenly come to me with such off-the-wall questions? I go to everyone with those. It doesn't seem to add up how the principal would be hanging out with a suspicious-looking character. Sorry, I don't know what to say. This man apparently started showing up the day after the Yoko incident occurred. Nothing? The students seem to be more and more uneasy these days. Ever since the Yoko incident happened. The principal sets a wonderful example for the rest of us. A model educator. Yeah. Everybody loves him, doesn't he? Don't they, rather? If I remember anything, you'll be the first to know. Yeah. Saving has been acting strange, as if he knows something. However, it's very touch and go with him. He seems to resent the tale of the girl in back for some reason. How old is he? 31. So he could have also been in school. Maybe he knew Shinobu. That is a chance. He's a bit young to know anything much about the Kaneda affair. Huh. Perhaps he was a student here at the time. He just came to the same conclusion, yeah. No, think about it. I can't recall any student named Hibino ever going to the Yoshimitsu. Would you really know, like, would you know that to say for sure? I forgot about it though. I assume that's what you're thinking. Most likely. Maybe you just didn't know. You can't know every student. The principal, maybe names would ring a bell, but even then, God. I'm not sure. Speaking of the Kaneda case, Goto had supposedly seen a black car. A black car from 15 years ago, eh? That's interesting. Does Urabe have a black car? What? Talk! You can't just bring up a car and then not say anything about it. Do you know anything about it? He just had a heart attack. Huh. Yes, I know, Amy. She hasn't come by as of yet. Why did he just die? Why do people always do this? Oh, it's probably nothing. He says after 5 minutes of staring at me. Excuse me. Where are you going? I have to go to the restroom. I'm being watched. Oh, come on. It's gotta be just my nerves again. There's nobody anywhere nearby. What's making me so jumpy lately? I think I'm starting to get those chilly feelings Ayumi keeps talking about. Well, what are you going to do about that? We can't leave. The Koan isn't here right now, I know. Okay. No, not ask about. Check. I want to check some stuff, I guess. So what am I going to do? Come on, the outside world has nothing to do with it. There's nothing here. There's nothing to look at. Okay, well, let's go through everything once. I know I've done most of these, but who knows, I must have missed something. So unless quit is somehow the thing again. It's not. Okay, that means we have to look at something. Is this just my imagination, or is that portrait staring straight at me? Wait a second. Did that painting move? Oh, come on. Now I know my eyes are playing tricks on me. Ryuji. On the other side. Ryuji, what are you staring at just... What were you staring at just now? That sketch. It's a spitting image of Yoko. Is it now? That's exactly how she looked that one day in the mirror. Are you telling me someone held up the this picture in the mirror, or like is the mirror outside this room? Like, does the sinking moon cast its light in a way that reflects this thing in the mirror? That's bullshit. What's all this commotion? Mr. Kono, when was that portrait of Yoko sketched? Ryuji, that isn't Yoko. Is it Shinobu? It was good many years ago. A gift from a former graduate. Porter was one of her old friends. Oh my! Ryuji, that's Shinobu Asakawa. I think an interview with the artist would be well worth your time. Definitely. What did you say your name was? Okay, but it was given to her... It was given to him after that person graduated, right? So... And, like... The teacher, Hayama, when she was in school, she saw the girl for the first time, like, the day she disappeared. So, obviously, that's not the same thing. Maybe when Yoko showed Ayumi... Like, when she was trying to show her that there was a trick to this whole thing, she used that picture. Because she knew it was Shinobu. This is the home of Ryoko Katsuragi, a former friend of Shinobu's. It's a pleasure to meet you. Please, call me Ryoko. Pleased to meet you. I'm Detective Ryuji Saito. Mr. Komada told me about you. He said you wanted to know about that portrait of Shinobu I sketched. Yeah. She was a friend of mine, back in high school. I was devastated when I heard she'd gone missing. When I graduated, I gave the portrait to the school in her memory. In the final few moments I knew her, she had really started to change quite drastically. One way. You're not gonna tell me! You always stop talking halfway through. She seemed a lot more flashy and loud than she ever had before. It probably had something to do with Goro. I mean, they always do this. Like, it's no longer about her, it's now about an insight that she had, so you have to change topics. But why do you have to make this so unnecessarily complicated? If only she hadn't gotten involved with him, none of this might have ever happened. I tried to be a good friend to her, but she chose her own path. I was never especially fond of him. I can imagine. Shinobu's disappearance has to be what started all those ghost stories. I've never given up hope that she might still be alive today. Which is why I was so startled a few weeks ago. If I remember correctly, it happened exactly 2 weeks ago. That night I heard someone knocking at the door. Thinking it was my husband, I casually opened it, and there Shinobu was, standing right there in front of me. That was probably Yoko. She hadn't changed a bit in 15 years. I was so shocked I couldn't manage to utter a single word. She then started to speak, which was the strangest part. She introduced herself as Yoko Kojima, a student at Ushimitsu High School. So Yoko must have managed to follow the trail all the way here. But why is everybody confusing her for Shinobu? Is this her? Yes, that's her alright. Although she seems so different here than how she seemed when I saw her. As she interviewed me, I couldn't help but notice how much she reminded me of Shinobu. It wasn't just her looks. Her mannerisms and style of speech seemed exactly like Shinobu's. As she got up to return home, she left me with these words. I have reason to believe Shinobu is still somewhere within Ushimitsu High School. There's no doubt in my mind. What could that mean? So are they keeping her locked up there? But why would they do that? The whole experience left me with such an uncomfortable feeling. The resemblance was uncanny, though. I'll never forget it. If Yoko was indeed murdered, then I wonder if the killer had thought the same thing I did. That's a possibility now, I guess. The clock started ticking. This supposed to be a hint that I should, like, leave? I should think about it? No? Okay. Back to talking. Is there something on your mind? I'll let you know if I recall anything more. Hey, I wonder if Ryoko ever knew Mr. Hibino when he was young. They seem like they're just about the same age. Back when you went to Ushimitsu, you didn't happen to have any classmates named Hibino, did you? Hibino? I'm sorry, but I don't think I ever knew anyone by that name. No, that is too crazy. Hibino is not Shinobu. That is too crazy. One thing does come to mind, though. Shinobu was best friends with a boy all throughout junior high. What was his name? Oh yes, his last name was Uchida. Oh really? How finally we get like his involvement here. Uchida. Wait. How old was he? Oh, that was probably Uchida's son. So T. Uchida wasn't my father. I mean, no, that doesn't make any sense anymore. Unless this is me. And I just have amnesia. I mean, no, he was 16 at the time. I'm about, like, that age now. And this happened, like, 15 years ago. Yes, he went to school with us at Yoshimitsu for a while. Would Hibino get a whole fake name to protect, like, maybe that's why he owes Urabe so much. Because he got him a new identity. Because he didn't, like, because Uchida, maybe he had that stigma then. Maybe Urabe convinced him that his father is actually the killer. The main suspect in the Kaneda case was a man named Uchida. Really? The Uchida boy we knew was just a boy at the time. It couldn't have been him. Come to think of it, wasn't it around that time that he moved away? I apologize, but my husband will be home shortly. I'll let you know if I remember anything else relevant. Yes, please. Thank you for your time. I'll be on my way now. I'll try my best to cooperate in any way I can. But detective, when Yoko said she thought Shinobu was still somewhere in this school, what could that mean? I have my theories. You all know my theories. This is the Utsugi Detective Agency. Utsugi seems to be out at the moment, you know, as usual. As per usual. Let's review. Didn't Ayumi ask us to, like, accompany her, like, here? Like, we just ditched her. Yoko must have found the old sketch just as I did, leading to her to Shinobu's old classmate, Ryoko Katsuragi. Those strange words she left Ryoko with. What could they possibly mean? Another lead that's been opened up is this Uchida boy, who seems to have been another childhood friend of Shinobu's. However, I don't know if he has any relation to Teruhiko Uchida, the former suspect. It's entirely possible, though. Next, there's that strange man. Hitomi says he started showing up the day after Yoko was murdered. Who could he be? And what's his connection to the principal? So did you update Shinobu's picture? You sure did. You sure did. They say the strange man looks about 30. A few names come to mind when thinking of suspicious 30-somethings. Goro and the Uchida boy. But why would either of these two have anything to do with the principal? Oh jeez, I slept so late. Well, I guess next time. On Famicom Tantei Club. Man, am I groggy. It's chapter 9, right? Yep, chapter 9. Initials. Whatever that means. Until then. Damn, I slept for long.